This is an NBC News special report. Here's Hallie Jackson.
Good evening. We are coming on the air with breaking news out of Idaho, where officials are about to speak at a news conference about an active shooter situation unfolding near Coeur. Our station KHQ reporting multiple firefighters have been shot while responding to a call in an apparent ambush. Let's take you right to the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office, briefing reporters now.
We now have 2 deaths. We have an unknown amount of casualties. We still have civilians that are coming off of that mountain. We might have civilians that are stuck or in shock on that mountain. So this is a very, very fresh situation. We are actively taking sniper fire as we speak. This is an active situation. We have multiple agencies that are on scene, from local and federal authorities, and we are prepared to neutralize this suspect who is currently actively shooting at public safety personnel. We are prepared to neutralize this suspect as quickly as possible. And that's really all that we know as of right now. We don't know who the suspects are. We don't know how many there are. So I know that it's very, very, very early, and I don't think that any questions would yield anything. But Chief, do you have anything? Was I accurate in what we were reporting?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll take a couple of questions, but I'd like to remind you that's very, very preliminary, and I'm not so sure we're going to have any additional information.
Hunter from KXLY, the 2 deaths, are they fire personnel that have died?
We know that there's 2 deaths, and we believe that they are, yes.
Have they been taken off of the mountain? Are they?
Yeah, no, we're still in that process.
Liam Brown, Kren 2. You mentioned that there were multiple people that have been shot. Do you have an exact number as
No.
of the moment?
No.
Okay.
We do not.
Alex Devon, the spokesman. How are you going about evacuating people from the mountain or getting personnel out of there who are being shot at? I mean, what does that process look like?
Right now, we're developing a plan to be able to suppress these individuals' firefighting capability. And when we get that under control, when we have an opportunity to suppress that, then we will continue our removing of people who are on the mountain, who are on for a hike, or public safety personnel, or people who live on the backside of the mountain.
Do we have any indication of what type of firearms are being used in this from the suspect?
Well, it appears that modern-day sporting rifles are being used. It appears that high-powered rifles are being used, yes.
How many acres is this fire? I don't know if
I don't know.
Started out as a half acre.
Do we know about how many minutes after shots were fired when fire crews arrived?
Well, we got the first call at 1:21, and we have reports that they were taking shots at about 2 o'clock. I don't know what time they arrived on scene. I don't know what time the firefighters arrived on scene, but we can get you that information at the next briefing if you'd like.
How many engines were on scene when shots were fired? Do we know that?
3? I believe we had 3.
Thank you.
And just to be clear, the people who responded, they were wildland firefighters or they were local firefighters fighting a wildland firefighter?
City of Coeur d'Alene and Kootenai Fire and Rescue.
Yes,
When the
sir.
shots were fired, were they at an accelerated rate or was it a single shot?
Oh no, we're taking rapid fire up there. In the back.
You keep referring to individuals. Are you referring to the casualties or like the amount of suspects you believe to be?
Well, we don't know how many suspects are up there, and we don't know how many casualties that there are. Yeah, I suspect we'll have people coming forward that maybe are stuck up there that drove themselves to the hospital, but I suspect that would likely be the case.
Do we have confirmation that there are people stuck up there?
People are still coming off the mountain, so it would only be safe to assume that the mountain is not cleared.
As of right now, is there an active threat to the surrounding
Absolutely,
community?
absolutely there is.
Okay. Has
Yeah.
there been a shelter-in-place order put forth?
Yes, there has, and I would encourage all of you to tell people to stay away from the area. Do not come to the area. Stay away from the area. This is going to be, if these individuals are not neutralized quickly, this is going to be likely a multi-day operation.
Just a question, so is the suspect in a home up there? Are they, do we have an indication of where they might be on the mountain?
Yeah, we don't believe that they're in a home up there at this time.
So they're just kind of out in the open, firing?
Well, they're in heavy brush, well prepared, so yeah, they're blending in with their surroundings.
Sheriff Norris? Oh, sorry.
Did you mention that the person that called it in is most likely the shooter?
No,
Okay.
no, we didn't say that. We said the first call was at 121 on a fire, and then we started receiving over our radio that the firefighters were receiving shots fired from the mountain.
Sheriff Norris, has anything happened like this before? And if so, do you think you and other law enforcement entities will be more aware going forward?
You know, this is an interesting dynamic. We have seen some of these things in a urban environment where firefighters were in a urban setting, putting out firefighters during civil disobedience, getting shot at. I've seen that. I can't say that I've seen it in a rural setting myself, but I have seen it in an urban setting frequently where firefighters do get shot at in, civil unrest, yes.
So do we know if there's one or two shooters?
We don't know if there's 1, 2, 3, or 4. Yeah, we don't know.
So just for the fire itself, firefighting efforts, is it contained? Is it still spreading? What does that look like?
Well, it's gonna keep burning because we can't put a lot of resources on there right now. But Chief,
No, we won't put any resources out there until the threat is neutralized.
Do we have like a risk of wildfire? Say, is it high winds? Is that going to fuel the fire or anything? Or is it?
We're at a high state right now in wildland, so it'll calm down as the evening progresses, but then it'll pick back up tomorrow.
Thank you.
And hopefully this is neutralized by then.
Thank you.
Sheriff Norris, how are you feeling about this overall from when you first got the call to just now from what you've learned?
you know what? I it's going to be the tough next couple hours. Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping that somebody has a clear shot and is able to neutralize, because they are not at this point in time showing any evidence of wanting to surrender. So as soon as somebody has a clear shot, I encourage them to take that shot and neutralize the threat.
I've seen several life flight helicopters coming in and out. Are there any other air resources that are being used at the moment?
Oh yeah, we have our Emergency Operations Bureau that is containing assets, and whenever a situation goes beyond the local resources, which this has, like I said, we have other counties that are here, we have federal authorities that are here, and we will neutralize this threat. So.
Thank you. And sorry, I know we've touched on this with the suspects. We know there is at least one, but you said possibly others. Is it coming from multiple different locations that bullets are coming from that might indicate that
Yes.
it is more than one suspect?
Yep.
So it's coming from not just one.
Yeah, it's
area.
what the officers and deputies are reporting up on the mountain right now. So,
Have any officers been hit?
and as of right now, we don't have any officers that have been hit. Okay.
Can you just confirm, list all the law enforcement authorities that are here on scene?
Well, I have not gotten a list yet,
Okay.
but however, pretty much everybody that's in this region, we have some Spokane resources that are here. We have Marshal's office that is on scene, Bonner County Sheriff's here, Coeur d'Alene Police, of course, is here, Idaho State Police, but we have a multitude of resources right now, so.
Thank you.
Okay, what we'll do is Lieutenant Mark Ellis is going to be one of our press relations here, and we'll determine what time we'll do another press conference, or if the next one will just be a press release. So I'm thinking it'll probably be a press conference, and it'll probably be somewhere in the next 3 or 4 hours, unless something significant happens before then. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And there it is. An update on this developing situation out west. What can only be described as a terrifying situation out west. As you heard it there from the Kootenai County Sheriff in Idaho, an active shooter situation. A sniper, at least one, they don't know how many, actively, as we speak, firing on people in Canfield Mountain near the town of Coeur. That's like a recreational mountain. People go there for hiking, etc. It is not clear how many people are firing, but at this point, here's what we know from officials. They say that firefighters responded to reports of a wildfire in this area. And I want you to look at this map. You see Coeur d'Alene, sort of very, very far north there in Idaho. There's a big lake. You see it there. And at the northern end of that lake is Canfield Mountain, which is what we're talking about here. 2 people are believed to be dead. They are both believed to be firefighters, because once those firefighters got on scene, they began being shot upon by an unknown number of people with what police have said, with what the sheriff said, sounded like modern-day rifles at this point. There are an unknown number of casualties. They don't know how many suspects are up there. And at this point, you heard the sheriff warn that if these individuals are not neutralized quickly, in other words, if they are not taken out, essentially, this will be a multi-day situation. At this point, there is no indication that there is any surrender that is imminent from these suspects on the mountain, according to what you heard there from the sheriff's office. After that news conference in which the sheriff was clearly concerned about the well-being of the personnel who responded to that fire and about the safety of the officers. You can see what the scene looks like here. We've also been getting information from our local station in this area, KHQ, which had reported on this initially. There is a shelter in place currently for everybody in this area, and the sheriff warned very strongly, do not get out and go about messing around. I'm paraphrasing here. He wants people to stay at home at this point while this incredibly active situation is playing out. Again, sniper fire is what these firefighters, these other crews have responded, have been taking over the course of the last, we think, hour and change at this point. We've got a team assembled here as we're watching this developing news. I want to go to our NBC News correspondent, Maya Eaglin, as we keep these photos up, Maya, because, again, a very serious situation that's happening out west.
Yeah, Hallie, we just heard from Sheriff Robert Norris there, who really encouraged folks to stay home. He said there's a shelter in place because, as you mentioned, they don't know how many suspects are still at large. They don't know how many casualties there are. They've only confirmed at least 2 deaths at this point. He also mentioned that the firefighters aren't going to be able to put out that fire until they neutralize this threat. He thought that perhaps a rifle might have been used in this situation, but this is so preliminary, and a lot of information is still rolling in. It looks like this will likely be a long investigation, but the biggest thing right now we heard from the sheriff is to stay in place as this gets sorted out. Hallie?
Maya, thank you. I know you'll continue to monitor for any updates that we're getting from our teams there. I want to bring in former FBI Supervisor Rob D'Amico, who's joining us now on the phone. Rob, I know you heard that update from the sheriff there. A frightening situation for the people in and around Coeur d'Alene, again, in northern Idaho, and especially so for the firefighters responding. At least 2 people believed to be dead and an unknown number of casualties.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the worst things that can happen with a firefighter is that you have hostilities and someone firing at you, and you probably didn't even know it in the beginning. You're not expecting it. You're looking to put out a fire, and then people start dropping. And obviously, he's talking about a sniper or some type of longer range encounters. So you don't even see that person most likely. So you just start taking casualties, trying to figure out what's going on. And now they're trying to get the other people that are around out of that area, and so that they can bring tactical teams in to try to, like the sheriff said, pin him down and neutralize him, which is tough because anytime you're chasing an armed person in a rural area like that, your movement has to be very slow and calculated, and his doesn't. He can move quickly, he can change positions, but you have to go slow. So you really need a couple maneuver elements to try to get behind him, hold them in place so that they can come up from the side or behind them.
I'm going to ask our team in the control room to see if we can pull up a map that's a closer location of this area, Canfield Mountain, even if you're looking at it off, Google Maps or whatever, what have you. Because this area, for folks unfamiliar with it, I was out on a reporting trip there, I want to say last year, Rob. Northern Idaho, it's a community that has seen an influx in people moving in and around it because it's beautiful. It's there in this very sort of natural area of northern Idaho here. There has been an influx of newcomers. There are also people who have had roots in that community and in that location for many, many years, many decades. And Canfield Mountain is where this seems to be happening. Just about, it looks like 5 miles north, approximately, of the sort of main downtown area of Coeur d'Alene. And Rob, when you hear the sheriff talking about what's happening on the ground, they have got personnel crashing into the scene. They have personnel already up on that mountain. Can you help us understand the communications and some of the difficulties in communications that may be occurring at this point when you have so many people in this area with so little that seems to be publicly known?
Yeah, they're trying to get a quick command post set up so that they have some synchronization of the assets that are going there, because you just don't want people, one, firing on each other, moving without understanding where the fire may be coming from. So you have people on the ground trying to, again, it's even tough to tell how many people may be firing on them. With the echoes in the canyons and the sound of the gunfire can be really tough to determine that. So until you have to assume there's more than one. You have to try to see where the fire is coming from, and then getting to a point where you use terrain to mask your other tactical teams moving up around them, behind them, or some way, so that they can't, the subject can't see those other tactical teams coming up. You try to pin them down and then maneuver on them so that you can, one, figure out where he's at and then make a tactical movement to him. And like I said, if you can get another sniper in place that's looking down on it, that can also help so that your movement teams are covered as they move.
What would the federal, as former FBI, Rob, what would the federal response and engagement be at this point? Presumably, we heard the sheriff's office talk about the local personnel on the ground there, the county personnel as well. Can you talk about some of the support that they may be getting from around the region and around the country?
Yeah, as soon as the sheriff requests federal assistance, you don't really need like a federal statute right now. So I'm sure the FBI, ATF, all the other federal agencies around there are moving their people towards it. The problem is it's such a far distance. You don't have like a SWAT team around the corner where you would in a big city, so that those teams may take a while. The hostage rescue team is a possibility. They can get on a plane. They've flown out before, but it's, probably 2 to 3 hours before wheels up, and that's a tomorrow thing. And same thing with a lot of federal agencies. This could be a 5-6 hour drive. They may be looking at, like FBI has aircraft to bring in tactical units quicker. But, time now, you're looking at probably those assets getting there and then again, you have to come into it. You just can't get on the ground running. You have to go to the command element and then, figure out where people are and then have one controller, one command element telling people where to go, so you don't, again, have them running into each other.
The other piece of this, there's a couple of things to this, Rob. First of all, you've been referring to the suspect, right, the shooter, singular. I think that's just because that's what we tend to think of in these situations. The sheriff made very clear they don't know how many people are out there with guns shooting on their personnel.
Yeah, like I said, it is really tough to tell, especially, you can get rounds off very quickly that it sounds like more than one. You have the echo effect in a canyon. They may have other information that there was shots coming from 2 places that would be hard to be one person, but they don't want to speculate right now. But you always have to assume the worst, and it can be a few. That's not the likely ones, though. We just don't see that many of them. We saw it in the DC sniper. There were 2, but it was like a team. And it was a really odd situation with the older gentleman and the younger kid, but you could have something like that.
The other piece of this, to my ear, listening to that news conference, I did not hear the sheriff say or use the words apparent ambush. I have to ask you this question, because when the first reports initially started coming in, it sounded like the firefighters responded specifically to a call about the fire and then began taking shots. What does that say or indicate to you about the circumstances of this here? And I don't want to get too far over our skis, but I've got to ask because that's something that's been out there.
I think everything, when I heard it, the same thing. I thought, okay, an ambush, that they set the fire, they call, they wait for them to come in, and they've been lying in wait. That's the most kind of obvious and to me reasonable suspicion, instead of saying, okay, there's a fire and all of a sudden someone decided to start shooting at the firefighters. Doesn't sound as logical to me as they may have started the fire, or the fire started and for some reason they have this, again, what his motivation is or what's behind him could be difficult to assess right now. It could be something in specifically with firefighters or the authority in general. He may have something in his past that's dictating this, and then has he started firing on just civilians now that we're in the area too? Because again, it started with firefighters, and now he's just opening fire on anyone he can see.
Can you explain why the sheriff warned that this may become a multi-day situation if it is not gotten under control in the next very short period of time?
Absolutely. Before nightfall, if they can pin them down and then, again, neutralize them before nightfall, once night comes, no matter how close they were, they're going to have night vision, but it's really hard to track someone, especially this person probably knows that area very well. And again, when you're moving to contact, what we call it, both in the military and law enforcement tactical, you're moving to try to find someone. You have to go very cautiously where he can run because he knows where he's going. So as soon as he gets distance between the tactical teams and nightfall, then he probably can get out of range of those tactical teams before they can find him, even before daylight.
Just to walk through the timing for folks here as well, and I remember I'm talking West Coast time out there, 1:21 p.m. is when the report of the fire first came in. And Rob, I'm going to ask you to stay with me. It was about 40 minutes later that those first shots were then fired on the firefighters who had responded to the reports initially there. The sheriff described shots coming in from multiple locations. To your point, Rob, there is still so much that we don't know. There is still, candidly, so much that officials on the ground still don't know, that they're still trying to figure out here. And it's not clear if the multiple locations is from the same person moving to different locations, if it's from, gunshot echoes, let's say, just speculating given the layout of the Canfield Mountain here where this has happened. It is not clear if this means multiple shooters. How many, we just don't know.
Yeah, you can have one firing position. As a former sniper myself, you can have one firing position where you can cover, 270 degrees of coverage. So when they start, again, the reports that came in of who was hurt and how many shots were going is very chaotic. They're trying to piece that together now. Eyewitnesses, even that when they saw it, can report things that they just don't understand. But one shooter, long range, can engage multiple angles where it seems like there's multiple people shooting. Then again, it could be multiple people, depending on if they have it like between canyons. That could indicate, yes, there had to be two people because there's no way there was a line of sight between it. But again, that information comes in is so chaotic in the beginning, even from eyewitnesses, until you sit down and start mapping it out, it's really tough to understand. So you have to assume the worst, that there could be multiple shooters.
Rob D'Amico, I'm going to ask you to stay with us as we continue to monitor what has happened here, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. As you have heard, as we've been talking about here, this developing news, a very active situation. 2 people, both believed to be firefighters, dead. An unknown number of people who could be hurt as firefighters responding to an initial call found themselves taking sniper fire. An active situation as we speak. People in that area of northern Idaho have been warned, shelter in place now. We are going to continue to stay on top of all of these developments. Look for more special reports throughout the evening as we learn more. But for now, this concludes this special report. Much more ahead on NBC News Now, on NBCNews.com, and of course later on Nightly News. I'm Hallie Jackson. Thank you for watching.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.